They call it AI. I call it AS, artificial stupidity. It's only as good as the person putting in the input. The 6 largest companies that dominate the industry are still putting their clients' websites into a template that they created 10 or 15 years ago that's in a proprietary software program that they own and run. It's going to be massive. It's going to be the largest disruption in human history.
You're listening to the Limitless Leadership Podcast, the podcast designed to help automotive repair shops learn how to lead, coach, train, and manage their team better by sharing proven techniques and thought-provoking interviews from industry leaders. Are you ready to transform your leadership skills by tapping into unrecognized potential to achieve limitless results? Let's get ready for liftoff. It's time to go from great to greater. Here's today's episode.
All right, leaders, whether you're running a shop, leading a team, or leveling up in your career, you know details matter. And if you're like me, that includes keeping your beard on point. That's why I trust the Bearded Brotherhood. Their beard oils, beard balms, and mustache waxes, among other, are made with all natural ingredients, no junk, no shortcuts, just top-tier quality that keeps my beard looking sharp and feeling great. And let's talk scents. Whether it's their best-selling Woodsman or my personal favorite, Lone Stranger, the Bearded Brotherhood keeps me smelling fresh and my beard stays soft all day. If you take your beard game seriously, this is the stuff that you need. And because you're part of the Limitless Leadership podcast family, I've got a deal for you. Just visit thebeardedbrotherhood.co/lead15 to grab your favorite products and get 15% off in the process. Because a great leader deserves a great beard. Now, back to today's episode. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Limitless Leadership Podcast. I'm your host, Josh Parnell, and before we get started with another great episode, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things you need to on social media to help this podcast reach people and build leaders. You, of course, know that this is our mission, to reach people and build leaders. And the more reviews we have, the more likes, comments, subscribes, all those things that are necessary that will help us do just that. So speaking of leaders, I'm joined by another leader today, a leader in the automotive repair industry, a friend of mine who's doing some big things in the industry. Our guest today is Mr. Paul Donahue. Paul, thanks for being here.
Hey, Josh, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it very much.
Well, Paul, if you would, man, go ahead and share with the audience who you are, what you do, and how you do it.
Okay. My name is Paul Donahue. I own Advanced Digital Automotive Group, and we focus on digital marketing, websites, SEO, and especially paid ads for auto repair shop owners. We focus mostly on utilizing AI in every single aspect of our business. So it doesn't matter what it is. If it's once a website is created, we are using artificial intelligence to do content audits, backlink audits, interlinking audits, technical audits. So once we do everything that we know how to do the best to our ability, then we plug that into artificial intelligence of different programs and see what it says. So I actually call it, they call it AI. I call it AS, artificial stupidity.
Oh, okay.
It's only as good as the person putting in the inputs. That is going to change pretty fast, especially with quantum computing, which we are moving towards faster.
So I know that the audience is going to want to hear a lot of this. This is something that, prior to us going live on this episode, you talked about how AI, or in your words, AS, is going to dominate. It's really going to change our lives forever. It's going to be the next greatest disruption, in your words. Before you share that, because I think it's important that we do get to that topic. That's going to be a great topic to discuss. Share with the audience how you got into this industry. Because I know that's a great story that you have that I think the audience needs to hear. How do you get in the industry? And then we're going to get into the AI or /AS.
Well, in another life, I owned a chemical supply company in the Florida Panhandle, Panama City Beach. So, and then I sold that business, and I ended up doing this very unique thing, promoting resort areas. So, which was great because I lived in the Caribbean all winter long during the winters, promoting islands, usually working with whoever the tourism bureau was for these areas. And it was in that business that I kept bumping into business owners that had these really bad websites, So I had a connection with a friend of mine in Florida, and she said, "Sure, I'll do the websites for you." So we did. It was called Advanced CMS Services, and this is CMS standing for Content Management System, which back then was brand new. If you built a website, it was all done on code. There were no templates. There wasn't WordPress back then. It was very expensive. And every time you had to make a change, you had to call your website company, call your website company to get the change.
Yeah.
So CMS was new. They could go in and make the changes themselves. So I did it as like an aside business. And then after technology and other things was eliminating the company that I had, which was Resort Graphics, I decided to focus on digital. So I started Advanced Digital Media Services, which I still have. That's my legacy agency where we work with hundreds of clients in all various industries. So we ended up joining a mastermind group, which is very smart. We have an owners group on Facebook. It's the Auto Repair Shop Owners Alliance. So anytime you get into any kind of group where you can ask questions and get feedback, it's great. So the mastermind group that we joined said, you must niche down. You've really got to focus on one particular niche and focus on that. Okay. So this was right when COVID was winding down, so I jumped on the internet, recession-resistant businesses. So if I'm going to work to build a company, especially hire employees, and recessions, and they are always going to come. So we have ups and downs in everything, you name it, real estate, financial, stock market, everything's got its ups and downs. So I wanted to plan for the future to make sure that I built a business that if a recession does come in, and maybe a serious one, that I built the most recession-resistant type business I could. Mm-hmm. So the number one recession-resistant business I found was liquor stores. So number two is like barbershops. So even in recessions, people go to the barbershop, right? Yeah. So grocery stores. So, and all of those three, none of those are viable for growing a digital marketing agency. Barbershops are really small. They don't have much capital. Mm-hmm. Liquor stores are same. So the other two were doctors' offices and auto repair shops. So my wife and I said, yes, let's get in. Let's doctors. Yes. Plenty of capital, yeah, let's go. Until we researched the competition, and the competition in every aspect that we looked at, whether it was orthodontists or dentists or general practitioners, you name it, the competition in those niches was intensive. I mean, these companies have been around for a long time, mm-hmm. and they were doing a bang up job. I mean, I looked into the rankings of some of their customers and things like that. So when we looked into auto repair, we were pleasantly shocked. The 6 largest companies that dominate the industry are still putting their clients' websites into a template that they created 10 or 15 years ago that's in a proprietary software program that they own and run. So, and then the content on many of these websites, I can easily jump on the internet and show any owner it's duplicate. So like the same content on the, Acura repair page is the same across hundreds of other clients. Well, this is a horribly antiquated SEO process. So we hands down decided to get into auto repair.
And that was back in around COVID, you said. So been roughly 5 years since you've niched down.
Actually, we had a little hiatus there. So, but okay. when we really got focused on this was a couple of years ago, actually.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Well, so talk about AI and what it's going to do to the industry, what it's going to do, not just to the industry, but just to the world. Like, I mean, our lives. I do see the possibility of a major disruption. I want to know, what is it going to do? What can we expect? Who's safe? In terms of jobs, what jobs are safe? What jobs are not safe? Talk about the disruption that it's going to bring.
It's going to be massive. It's going to be the largest disruption in human history. So if you go back to the turn of the century, approximately 80% of all people were farmers. Okay, so fast forward, I forget how many years, and it's 2%. Okay, well, that's because we went from the agricultural age into the industrial age. And all of those people got assimilated into cities and working in jobs and factories and companies. Mm-hmm. So the displacement was beneficial. All these people had a place to go, and their lives improved because they weren't working on a farm anymore. They were creating revenue and income in jobs. Well, then we had the information age, which was massive. And now we have the AI age. But the AI age is far different, because the AI age is going to disrupt the white collar. So with the last two major disruptions, which is agricultural and industrial, that was machinery. So this current age is reasoning. So the human mind, hey, we're safe, right? Okay, we're not going to be replaced by robots or computers because I can think, right? Not anymore. So what this is going to disrupt is all your white collar jobs.
Okay.
Analysts, you name it. It's going to be massive. And they're not going to have a place to go. There's not any place for these jobs to go.
Interesting. Okay. So I want to go back and echo what you just shared. The largest disruption in human history. That's a pretty powerful statement. Mm-hmm. What is it going to look like? Let me backtrack. When is this going to happen? Like what kind of time frame can we expect to see the disruption really begin to take place? We already see it to some degree, but what kind of time frame are you looking at? I mean, are we talking about a decade from now? Are we talking about like a few years? What does this look like?
AI and robotics is expected to replace 30% of jobs in the next decade.
In the next decade. So a decade from now.
30%.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. So that's big. Now it's going to have positive ramifications as well as negative. It's going to have exceedingly positive ramifications in pharmacy, because now we've got computers that can sift through all the data instead of people and come up with, hey, you should try this formula to solve this problem.
Sure.
In auto repair, it's going to be incredible for diagnostics. So you'll be able to pull a car in and say, the owner will say what the issue is, and they'll just plug that into big data. Okay. And big data will look at every single, on the whole planet. It'll look at all the information that you put in on that particular car's problem and spit out all the possible problems with that car. Can you look at this? Can you look at that? So it's going to be really great. Now, robotics, I don't know for sure, but it's not going to replace auto mechanics. So auto mechanics are in a really repair shop owners are in a very good business, because get a robot to do a brake job in an alignment.
Yeah, that was actually going to be my next question. Like in terms of employees, people who are safe or not safe, I want to know, are the mechanical specialists, are the technicians, are they safe? Are service managers, are service advisors? I mean, what's funny is I was on the Change of the Industry podcast with David and Lucas almost a year ago, and David and I got into discussion about AI and how it can replace employees. And ultimately, I mean, he was even suggesting, hey, could it be like where he's you got a shop owner and then everyone else is robots? And we talked about like a pilot. Would you trust a robot to fly you across the country? Who's really safe and who's really not safe? Like think about some outside of the industry, Paul, or even in the industry, but like who are some professions right now where we think there's just no way that a doctor or a pilot could be replaced? In your opinion, who's going to be not safe a decade from now?
The way we're moving, I really can't answer that definitively, but not a lot of jobs. A lot of your any kind of a job that is repetitive or manual, that's gone. That's going to be robots. I've already seen robots that fold towels and sheets at hotels.
Wow. Okay.
So all of these manual, bye-bye. Okay, it's going to robots going to be doing that. Mm-hmm. So and then all of your anything where a computer program can analyze the data and come up with the suggestions, and that's a bazillion jobs. I mean, that's all people coding. Look at the disruption in coding. So there, almost all coding is done by computers now. So all these people that went to school to learn to code, because ChatGPT writes better code and faster, like in seconds.
Paul, as a leadership coach, something that I'm a big believer in is the power and the impact of connection, because we know that connection is what creates engagement, and engagement increases performance. And when I think about AI versus real people, talk to the audience about the connection that is just can AI replace the personal connection? Like, is that a possibility? I mean, I'm thinking about the impact a teacher has on a young child. Would a robot or would AI ever replace someone like a teacher, for example? Because the connection there, the impact that person's making because of a personal connection, to me, that's irreplaceable. But am I not thinking big enough?
Oh, no, your concern is quite valid. And that they just did a recent research, and this is horrible. They just found out that the average high school student is uncomfortable talking to a human being on the phone. They would rather send a text. So technology is disconnecting people.
Oh,
so
okay.
Social media, it's not
that.
social. How many times have you seen a group of teenagers sitting at a table, not one of them's talking to each other, but they're all on the phone? How is that social? So it's actually, as far as I see it, it's having negative impacts in society. It's moving us away from what you're talking about.
And I can see that. I mean, I've already seen articles about like the future of even like marriage, like people literally having a relationship with a robot. It's like, it's mind-boggling. Yeah. It's pretty wild. So okay, so you got into this industry, you niched down. Talk to us about, you talked about the opportunity that you and your wife found in the industry. Mm-hmm. Talk to us about what you're doing and how you're doing it that's significantly different than what I don't believe in competition. I believe in collaboration. There's a lot of great companies out there who are doing amazing things, but I want to know what sets yourself apart. What sets your company apart from the rest?
Well, we focus on doing what's expensive and time consuming to get the results. So writing really good blogs is a part of it, and putting those blogs on the website. So there's 6 different things that you can do that are very distinct that you can do on a blog that's going to get it noticed more on Google. And you need to do those things because there's 4.6 billion pieces of information going on Google every 24 hours.
Oh, okay.
Right. So, and then here's a great tip for all the auto repair shop owners. Don't ever hire a digital marketing agency that can't prove to you that they can write content that gets searched for and found on the internet on their client sites. And it's very easy to verify. Mm-hmm. Just go to some of their customers, have them go to some of their customers' Google Analytics report, and just look at the top 10 most visited pages. If you don't see blogs there, forget it.
Okay.
That's where the rubber meets the road, right?
Okay.
So now, if you take this great content and you just put it on the website, that's a waste. You need to take that and create what? More content to post on social media or video? We live in a video world.
Yeah.
So we take the content from the blog and we create animated videos and whiteboard videos, which are very expensive and time consuming to create, but they're the highest quality, most engaging type video that you can. And we post that on all of their social media accounts. Excellent. We do. Google has a new formula now. It's called EAT. It's EEAT. It's experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trust. So Google has always said that content is king on the web, and it is, but it's different now. The EAT formula is not something you can write into the website like you can keywords and things like that.
Okay.
It is a digital presence. So one of the best ways to get really good authoritative from good sources is press releases. So we do a press release on our most popular program every month. That press release goes out to 200 different news agencies. Each press release has 6 links in it that come back to our clients' websites. And so I got a shop in Florida that's getting mentioned on the Nebraska Times.
Wow. Okay.
How does that help them? Along with local, Well, when I do a search, there's 3 types of SEO: local, on page, off page. Well, local is the most important for a repair shop because 90% of their business comes from a 3-mile radius around the shop, right? But you can't do any of these in a vacuum. It's holistic. So how does having a press release almost every month on the Nebraska Times help a guy in Florida with an auto repair shop? When I do auto repair near me, Google looks at the internet, all the competition, all the websites, and in half a second ranks everybody, and it looks to see where your shop's mentioned. And when it's mentioned on Associated Press, Benzinga, Google News, Yahoo, and all these different places, especially monthly, that moves you up a notch.
Gotcha.
And then another thing that we do is videos. So we're working on creating another 50 videos. So when we launch a website, within the first couple of months, we'll have 150 videos on our clients' YouTube channels that's linked to their website. So, okay, and then and they're all informational type. The 150 tips for automobile owners.
Okay.
So, hey, would you like to get better fuel mileage and get your tires to last longer? Just check your tire pressure. Another quick tip from Josh Parnell's auto repair. So it's a lot of people don't understand. It's not called sell my stuff media. It's called social media. So as long as we just put good, helpful information on the internet, especially in video format, that's exceedingly helpful, and no other shop in town has that. I can guarantee it.
Yeah,
because it's very expensive and time consuming to do that. But what is the second most searched platform on planet Earth next to Google, or at least in North America? YouTube.
Okay, YouTube. Okay, I was thinking Facebook. I don't know.
Yeah. So YouTube, and when we took a look at the digital marketing area for this industry, there was no company focusing on video. And the answer is that they know that video is important. It's just expensive and time consuming to create it, so they don't do it. So that's just a few things. I've got 14 different USPs, unique selling propositions. So that's just a few of the heavy ones, the big ones.
I like the fact. I mean, it is a little bit of a teaser or kind of just an intro into what you guys can offer. If I'm listening or watching this episode, because if you are listening, you can watch this episode also on YouTube at The Bearded Leader is where you can find the YouTube page. If I want to see what you're talking about, if I want to see the examples of the videos, where can I find you? Like, where can I go online to check out more of Advanced Digital Automotive Group?
Just go to autorepairseo.com.
Okay, that's a solid domain, by the way.
Yes, it is. And I would like to toss this out there too. We're a Google partner. Okay, which no matter who a shop goes with, be sure they're a Google certified partner. Okay, and then second.
Why is that important? Out of curiosity, why is that important?
It took us a long time to get that badge. There are a lot of things that you need to do. You need to have people on your staff that have all taken the courses through Google. You can't take these third party. You have to take them through Google. Gotcha. And once you have the qualified staff, once you've jumped through all the hoops, they'll give you that certified Google partner badge. So, and then the other thing, and this is just a common sense thing I like tossing out there. Don't you think that your digital marketing agency should be able to rank themselves for their own keywords before you even consider hiring them to rank you for yours? So if you type in auto repair SEO, we are number one nationally on Google and did that in less than a year.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah. So it's pretty important. Really, your digital marketing agency should show you that they can rank themselves for their own keywords before you consider hiring them to rank you for years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the breakdown of your team look like? How large are you guys, and how many? If I'm a potential shop owner who's considering hiring you to work with my team, what kind of level of communication can I expect? I want to know, what is the breakdown of your company to know? Here's who I'm going to be working with. Here's how often I'm going to be meeting with them.
So we have 18 people on staff right now.
Okay.
We're hiring 3 more. We're in the process of hiring 3 more. Several different departments: a social media department, SEO department, typical digital marketing agency, website creation department. So each of my team has to be tasked with focusing on AI. How can we utilize AI to produce better results for our clients? If they don't come to me with the tips and information on a monthly basis, then I kind of look for somebody else. So and then some of these people are looking at AI, and it's difficult for them because it can replace their job. Like video creation, I have 3 full-time video editors right now, but you would be amazed at how fast that AI has improved. Just 6 months ago, if you went to AI and ask for images. You got people with 3 fingers and an eye in the middle. AI would go. So I called AI images babble in graphic form, because that's
well said. Yeah.
what they are. So now look at it today. Now they've got programs that do 6 and 8 second videos, and I can take a video of myself and put it in the program with my voice, and you do not know it's not me.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that, because here over the last month or so, specifically in the last month, I've noticed there are more and more AI videos that are exactly what you described. Used to, it's like, it's pretty obvious. You see 3 fingers, or you see something where it's like, something is very evident that it's an AI, either image or video. And now it's like, I can't always tell. I mean, it's getting scary already. And I know that, to me, when I think about the disruption that AI has already caused just in the world in general, good, bad, or indifferent, I'm thinking about the growth and the exposure AI has had just in the last year or two. I can only imagine, and really I probably can't imagine what it's going to be like in 10 years. Because you say that the biggest disruption in human history, I think I could probably get on board with that statement. I mean, to me, it's like, it is something that is exciting, but at the same time terrifying, quite honestly.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I'm following 6 of the most influential and most important people in artificial intelligence industry.
Give us 2 or 3 that we need to follow. Is that you not ready to do that yet?
Just go on to YouTube.
Okay, gotcha. Can you give us one? Can you give us one to follow? Think about it, Paul. While you're doing that, so as you're searching, one of the reasons I asked about your team breakdown is because, of course, this is a leadership podcast, and I'm always curious how leaders are developing other leaders. You have a team of 18 right now. You guys are constantly growing. You're looking to hire 3 more. If I were to ask you, Paul, what does leadership mean to you? How would you answer that question?
Oh, what was that question again?
What does leadership mean to you? How would you answer that question?
Leadership is taking responsibility for results. It's really difficult. You can never put, no matter what happens, you are the person who is most responsible. So leadership to me is making sure that you're focused on your team members and your customers, and then being 100% responsible for the results.
Yeah, love that. I'm hearing accountability is what comes to mind. You're taking ownership, you're taking responsibility, taking accountability for the results of the actions that you're suggesting. All right, did you find who we can follow?
Yeah, because there's so many. Everybody follows Elon, but Sundar Pichai, the guy that he's the CEO at Google.
Okay.
I highly recommend him. And then probably who else? Those 2 would be the 2 that what people would be most familiar with.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. So all you have to do is just get on YouTube and type in their name and then the word AI, the letters AI.
Gotcha.
They'll give you a lot of videos that they're creating just recently. Also, the CEO at NVIDIA.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'm loosely familiar with him.
Yeah.
Okay. So Paul,
I was just watching his video interview with I can't remember her name. She's done quite a few podcasts.
Okay. Well, Paul, one of the questions I love to ask on this podcast is, what is the best advice you've ever received from a coach or a mentor? How would you answer that question?
Best advice I ever received from a coach or a mentor was slow down.
Okay.
Yeah, because I going too fast, So
yeah,
that's probably some of the best advice I've got. So sometimes you have to slow down to go faster.
Love that.
And
yeah,
it's a really tough concept for me to get, but sometimes I just have to stop, go really slow, and get this particular process down, and then and really just think it through. And I'm a typical entrepreneur or CEO, my brain is like all over the place. I'm more of the idea person than the follow through person, which is why I have to slow down and create the follow through processes that I hand to my team, and then make sure that they're doing those processes consistently. The tough part, the consistency is the tough part.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, consistency, intentionality. And I can relate to what you're describing too. For speaking to the entrepreneur or even the solopreneur who is wearing a number of different hats, when you're suggesting or encouraging that person to slow down, to speed up, we know it's necessary, but we struggle with it because it feels like there's so many things we need to do. There's so many fires we need to put out, and so we're a part-time firefighter. It's challenging. It's challenging to be able to do that, but it's also necessary. So, Paul, thank you for being here. Thank you for all the insight and the information that you shared. I know it was just a small glimpse into you and the Advanced Digital Automotive Group. But we're going to go to autorepairseo.com to check your website out. How else can our audience get in touch with you personally?
Oh, just Paul at autorepairseo.com.
Okay.
That's the easiest way to get in touch. So usually what we do is we like to schedule discovery calls with shop owners to see what their goals are, where they're at, and whether we might be a good fit, for them, because we found out, we're not a good fit for every shop. So
sure.
It's a really good idea that we chat with the owner and try to figure out what they want to accomplish and what their goals are, and whether, we can align with them and help them do what they want to do.
Okay. Well, thank you, Paul. Thanks for being here. It was a pleasure having you on, my friend.
All right. Thanks, Josh.
And thank you, everyone, for tuning in to yet again another episode of the Limitless Leadership Podcast. Don't forget to smile today. Tell your loved ones how much they mean to you. I'm Josh Parnell, reminding you to keep leading well.